artist is Anna Stevenson. When we asked Anna what special events happened this year since last CA, she answered, I've met a nice guy. Woo! That's a special event, yeah. And about what she learned recently, she learned to be more confident as a teacher and as an artist. This is the third time we're hearing this word of confidence. It's true, it's important. That's true. Crystal, did you write it 3 times? Thank you. It's cool. Oh, listen to this. Anna's most embarrassing moment. It's so cute. When she was 12 years old, she performed in a musical production, Dracula Spectacular, and she was Dracula's mother. You know, ugly dress and makeup, blah, can you imagine? She had to sing a duet with Dracula itself. But Dracula gave her the microphone at the wrong moment. So she just froze, did nothing, the music kept going on, and then she swore, shit, shit, twice, in front of 500 of parents. Yeah. So lesson 7, for me again, sorry. Here, don't give too much lesson because this is typically the kind of thing you could do nowadays. So I won't. You know what? I'm a little bit tired of always saying the same thing. Please give a big applause to blah, 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 blah. So I won't say it. I will mime it. So I will mime you the signal for you to give a huge applause to Anna, okay? So the signal will be, thank you. This was not for me. Will be, and now, okay? So, wait, no, all together, please, let's do it professionally, okay? We are at CA. So, and and you have, after that, you have to do real applause, not mime. Real applause. Because you are not mime, I am mime. Accepted your father, Jeffrey, he can do that, okay? But accepted Jeffrey Stevenson, everybody has to clap, okay? So, for Anna Stevenson, ladies and gentlemen,
no, not quite. I don't need my little handy thing there. Right, hi, it's great to be back here at CA, and I'm really excited and privileged this evening to have John here on the stage with me, a very talented man, and he's going to be accompanying me as I sort of show you some slides and a few bits of my work. As an artist, I have had the opportunity to play and create in many, many different areas, in artistic areas. I've really enjoyed experimenting and exploring from things like ceramics to printmaking, which I think you need as you need a wide variety of skills for my job as an art teacher, which is what I do full time. When I do have the opportunity, however, to do some of my own work, then I have had the opportunity, or rather I've been experimenting with portraits. So this is obviously the first slide. And I work with people every day, and I'm really fascinated by their facial expressions and how you capture and how you represent somebody. And as you can see from the first slide, I think that captures my nephew quite well. Well, if you knew him, it would. He's a very cheeky chappy. So it's been quite a challenging time for me, I think, is trying sort of new things. But as I've kind of grown in confidence, some of you may recognise the woman up there. I sort of I realised that you could communicate more from just the face. Obviously, you can communicate from your body as well. And I just love the expression on her face. It's quite of ease, it's of confidence, and she's laughing. I just love the picture. But I think maybe perhaps she's still a little bit self-conscious, sort of judging by her pose. You can kind of see the way that she's standing there. Obviously, the Dutch woman tells us, and obviously is showing us quite a lot. But I'm just really interested in kind of what happens when an image is restricted. So you can kind of only sort of see a small slither of somebody, of a portrait. And I just wonder, can you still gain the same information as an insight into a person as you can by these two, done in pencil? As we know, Renaissance painters, when they did portraits, they began to incorporate an object in with their portraits, in with their people, to show a little bit more about the person and kind of to define the person. So excuse me with my notes. And I think as artists, we're really defined by what we do. I personally think that. And sometimes I think a face doesn't necessarily capture that, doesn't necessarily. So I started to think about other ways in which you can kind of capture a person. This is this is a picture of my friend Andrew Kingsman, who's a portrait painter. And I thought, if I painted his face, would I miss a very important part of him? And that is obviously what he does. Can we capture all that with the face? We might actually miss the most beautiful or perhaps interesting part about a person if we don't sort of see the whole of them. So obviously this is Andrew's hand making a portrait as a pencil drawing. The next slide is of my friend Paul, who's a photographer, and he takes pictures. So this is obviously a picture of him taking a picture, and I thought it was a really interesting composition and different, kind of slightly different to what we might normally see. This is actually a bit of a work in progress, so I'd like to say you get a bit of a sneak preview to something that's not quite finished. I was, again, kind of going back onto a larger scale in oils, so that's what I paint in oils, of body language and what a body tells us, again, sort of without the face. And I was inspired to paint this by some paintings that I saw when I was on holiday in Italy. And here I'm working in a different way for me, because I'm trying to not be too precious about the drawing that's underneath, and in a way I'm trying to let the painting sort of do the talking. So as I paint, it's kind of to do the talking. So, I mean, who knows when it's going to be finished, but hopefully one day. So I think, to be honest, doing my own work can be a bit of a rarity, and actually in my life a bit of a privilege. But I find that as passionate as I am about creating art, I'm perhaps... Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's better. Sorry. As passionate as I am about creating art, as I said, I'm as passionate, if not more passionate, about creating artists, okay? And I really want to inspire and encourage and build up the next generation, because they are what's important. They're really what's important in our future. And I think we really should be, as artists, we should be passing on our passion and our knowledge. Okay, so not just kind of doing and not just showing our work, but I think we really need to be teaching, and that's why I think CA is so great in that way. So moving on to kind of the next slide. Last year, my school was rebuilt. And it went from old and crumbling, as you can kind of see by the pictures. You can see my store cupboard on the left-hand side, to this, bright and shiny and new, which is a whole new, amazing kind of clean space to make a new mess in. So I'm really excited about that. It's a bit of a blank canvas. The sinks in this one work, which is great, and also the roof doesn't leak, so that's brilliant. And to be honest, I think I have the best job of all. To be able to create and to teach at the same time. It's the most amazing opportunity to work with some of the funniest, some of the most inspiring, some of the most creative, some of the most expressionistic, if that's a word, people on the planet. It's also one of the most challenging, I think, but daily I learn from them. I think it's really exciting. So the next few slides, I'm just going to show you some of the fantastic work that my students or my little artists have been producing over the past year. So I just hope you enjoy what I've got to show. Thank you. I just want to thank John, and thank you for listening.